Hello Capricorn, welcome to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and comment on this video if it just so happens to resonate with you. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the person that is on your mind currently. This reading may not resonate for everybody, and that is okay. I'm here for the ones that I can help. If I get through to even one person, then well worth it. Job done. Judgment reverse. You could be dealing with a Libra. Maybe a Libra who broke your heart in the past for a couple of you. The Hanged Man reverse. You could be dealing with a Libra or an air sign that isn't quite over their ex. For some of you is what I'm getting. And the reason I'm getting that is the Hanged Man reverse a lot of times can be very stuck energy, right? And for some reason I'm just getting something to do with a Libra here in the past. For many of you, there could have been a third party that got involved in this situation with that Three of Cups reverse. This person could have been... yeah, you could have found out that this person was less than upstanding towards you. King of Swords, I feel like you really, for some of you, you really let this person sort of have it when you found out that they were either doing something that weren't up to your standards or treating you a certain way that you weren't okay with. Whatever this person did, I'm definitely getting that you put your foot down regarding this situation. You pretty much were like, no more. Yep. Death card. You can't make that up. You put an end to it. Could be dealing with a Scorpio or someone who has Scorpio moon or Mercury in Scorpio. I'm getting for some of you. Yeah, you put an end to this situation. You're like, no more. I'm not trying to have a relationship or a partnership, right? Where there's third parties going on. I feel like whereas a lot of people would have maybe put up with that type of behavior, Capricorn, I'm really getting for those of you that are resonating with this message that you were just not having any of it. You really, really put your boundaries down, even though it was hard. You did the right thing, even though it was hard. And whenever we can do the right thing, even though it's tough, which is all the time because it's so hard in this dense 3D reality, when we can do the right thing, even when it's tough, we are always rewarded in some way, shape, or form. It might not even, that reward might not even show up until, you know, weeks, months, even years later, but it will show up regarding karma. If you're a life path 8 or born on an 8-day, karma usually cycles back to you very, very fast, a lot quicker than it would other numerological numbers. How does this person feel about Capricorn at the deepest level since all this transpired? The Moon. In their feelings, for sure. They know that they messed up a really good thing with you. This could have been a really, really beautiful connection long term, and they know that whatever they did here, they messed it up. Yep, Hierophant on the bottom of that. Could be dealing with a Taurus or a water sign. But essentially what I'm getting from this is that, you know, this person sees you as marriage material, and they can't believe that they messed that up. They're kind of beyond themselves that they sort of let this go, or that they did anything to mess this up. They can't even really comprehend that at this point. What is the advice for Capricorn in dealing with this person? Death card. So, here's the advice. Sometimes it's easier, even though it sucks, even though it hurts, right? It hurts. I'm not saying that this doesn't hurt. This is very painful, what you're feeling and what you're going through. If you're resonating with this reading, it's painful because you had to throw a grenade into your own life because this person wasn't treating you correctly. And they know that it's their fault, but you're the one that sort of had to bring it to an end, or at least you're thinking about that. And for those of you that are, the advice is this. Sometimes something can be so broken. At what point do we stop trying to fix it or stop trying to see the good in it and just sort of realize that it's broken, leave the pieces, and trust that the universe has a different glass for you, fully formed, has its own cracks, but they're cracks that you can deal with. They're cracks that you can maintain, so to speak. Whereas it looks like this situation is just like shattered. And I've been in situations like that before. You would do anything to make it work, but if it's shattered sometimes. Now, can this person change? Can they sort of come back, change, telling you, I want this, I want that? More than likely they will. We have Mercury retrograde coming up very soon. So all in all, what I'm getting is that just really follow your intuition. I feel like your own intuition's telling you that this needs to come to an end. Especially specifically with that full moon in Capricorn that we just had, there could be something to do with that. You know, maybe this really affected you. Maybe it really opened your eyes, that full moon in Capricorn, that to just what this connection is and how it actually needs to come to an end. You know, I feel like you have put your foot down with this person in the past, at least once before, for some of you. And for others of you, if you haven't quite yet, but you were thinking about maybe confronting some things, putting your foot down, you know, definitely always have those boundaries, because a lot of times, man, humans can be evil. And not inherently, they're just inherently selfish. It's not like people walk around going, I'm going to be evil to them today. Well, maybe some do, but I digress. Most people walk through life just selfishly thinking of themselves. They don't necessarily think about how their actions or words or whatever is going to affect that person across from them, or that person even down the street, or the person that they're dating. We're always just kind of looking out for number one. And that's why I'm so passionate about being a spiritual teacher here on this channel, is we really need to raise the vibration of the collective conscious. And what I mean by that is, the higher the vibration, the more we can step into the vibration of love and helping instead of greed and selfishness and separation. We can really step into that 5D energy of love, you know, of inclusion, of treating people with respect and truly loving somebody. You know, if we can step into that vibration, we can all collectively raise the vibration of the earth, and everyone could live in abundance and prosperity, and not just finances, but also relationships as well. This person can change. Absolutely. Will they come back? Probably, like I said. But the thing is what does it take for somebody to truly change on the inside so that they don't hurt you again? It's going to require proven instances over a period of time for you to gain this person's trust back. That's what it's going to take. You know, there's no overnight fix. Oh, I've changed. I'm so sorry. I had this epiphany. I realized what I did. No, that does not exist. This person, if there was a third party involved, what that tells me is that this person needs to do a lot of shadow work. They need to do a lot of work on healing themselves. The deep root of their issues, they need to get to that. They need to stop solving what they have going deep down on and inside. That was a mouthful, on and inside. They need to stop sort of, suppressing it, and they need to bring it to the surface so they can deal with it. And the unfortunate thing, Capricorn, is you can't force somebody to do this. You can't ever force someone to confront their own shadow self, what they need to work on. They have to come to these conclusions on their own. And if they do come to the conclusion of, I want to make it work with Capricorn, I'll do anything, what can I do? Well, as soon as that happens, then this person needs to prove over time to you that they have actually changed, that it can actually be something sort of significant. What's the advice for, well, not advice, what's the outcome for Capricorn regarding this whole situation? What's the outcome here? Four of Swords reversed. So I feel like this situation, if you let it continue any further in the current vibration that it's in, it's just going to cause you a lot of restlessness, a lot of anxiousness, a lot of even depression for some of you, I'm getting. So don't be afraid to sort of, I can't make this up. As a reader, right? As a spiritual teacher on this channel, I love it when I get double confirmation. This was on the bottom of the deck one of the first few times that I was pulling for your spread. Three of Cups reversed, kind of telling me that whoever this was, there was a third party involved somehow, some way. Or at least your intuition sensing this. And this is just double confirmation. Like I said, as a spiritual teacher, I really love it when we get confirmation like that. But I don't love that you're going through this, because it's painful. I've been there. I've been there. And it's not fun. It's like one of the most horrible feelings when you find out that somebody that you cared about, you could even, had images of a future, all of that going on in your head, but also out in the physical reality, right? You spent a lot of time with this person, whatever. When you find out that they were giving to a potential third party, I feel like something inside of you just like was over it. But it still is causing a lot of hurt. Like it's painful, right? When someone does that, it's really painful. Makes you question your own self-worth, even though it had nothing to do with you, Capricorn. If you take one thing away from this video and you're resonating with this, it had nothing to do with you. It truly was not your fault. People that do things like this, they're confused inside, and like I said earlier in this reading, they don't know how to go within and heal those deepest parts, those deepest wounds that they have from long before you came into their life. They have to heal that part of them in order to be good for anybody, not just you. So definitely do not blame yourself. And, you know, if you're feeling this very restless, anxious energy when it comes to this situation, sometimes it's better to let someone go, because sometimes that's the only way that they'll learn the lesson that they need to learn as well. And at the same time, it's important to keep our own boundaries up. But I also know what I'm saying is it's so much easier said than done, right? It's easy for me to sit here and say, let them go. I'm not in it. And I've been there where I am in it, and other people don't really understand. So I want you to know I'm here. As listening ear, I'm here. I know that this is really, really tough. I feel a lot of anxious energy right now from you guys. It's like, as much as you really like this person and you just want to go towards them, you know it's for the better good of yourself not to. And that's never a fun place. What other advice for Capricorn regarding anything in their life? Not just this. Just general advice. Okay, whatever you sort of have been thinking about here, I feel like a lot of you have been really thinking about some startup businesses or doing something to sort of get a passive income. Definitely work on that. For many of you, it's going to bring you a lot more abundance than you already have. Capricorns typically do tend to be abundant. Not a bad thing at all, amazing actually, but I feel like you have even more that you have to accomplish here, and you have a lot of ideas as of recently. I mean, Capricorns, you guys always have a lot of really creative ideas. It's one of my favorite parts about you guys. But yeah, don't be afraid to sort of go take full-on charge, go straight ahead towards what it is that you would like to sort of get off the ground here when it comes to your finances. That is what I have for you, Capricorn. Hit that subscribe button, hang in there, and I'll see you guys next time.